When schools tell you that something's wrong, it's usually because something's wrong. Not all schools are bad places, not all teachers are bad teachers, but sometimes it takes us looking other places to see the actual truth. So in this one, did Abba and Preach expose the truth about parenting?
Walk in, chest great, we don't play. Staff talk sharp like a quiz on a Monday. Whiteboard wars, yeah, we grade all day. If you can't take that heat, stay out the hallway. Hey, this is the staff room. Say it loud, say it loud.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so today I came across this video and I thought it was a pretty good video because although it doesn't necessarily have to do with education, these guys are pretty creditable. They usually take the more asinine topics and they make sense of them or look at them from a very level-headed perspective. They're not always one-sided, but they always try to bring everybody's perception of something that's happening to a head. And I like the way they do things. So if you guys know them or if you don't know them, go ahead and head over to their channel. These guys are solid, but they are reacting to a video about a parent who decided to take bullying into her own hands. Now, there's a lot of controversy about this word bullying, right? But I think that in a lot of instances, we tend to overreact, as is true in a lot of cases, that when it comes to something like this, we tend to place everything in that 2% where bullying can be a real big problem. But there's a lot of times where friends just are friends. I don't know about you, but my friends and I, we like to get after each other, and I want to say that's probably true about most guy friends. But let's see what happens here with this parent.
My question is, am I a bad mom for inviting my son's bully to his birthday party? Because
Yes.
What'd you say?
Am I a bad mom for inviting my son's bully to his birthday party because I wanted him to learn how to be the bigger person?
Yes, you're fucking horrible.
Oh my dick.
There's no way around it. Okay.
Ain't no way.
Let me not say you're.
Use the language. I try to keep the language a little bit down here, but sometimes these guys get a little carried away. It's
a horrible mom. That's a lot.
No.
But that is a horrible decision.
Ain't no way. So the person that is bullying your son is gonna get there, get cake, free stuff, probably a gift, or it's gonna make it awkward to everybody because he's bullying other kids. And now what happens? You're gonna make him hug him? Oh my God. Hey.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. He is going to have jokes for days. He's going to take that right back to school and he's going to use that against your own son. In this case, we're dealing with what I like to call the Karen syndrome. In some cases, when it comes to mothers with sons, we tend to do too much. Instead of training your son on how to deal with bullies, they overstep their boundaries. So now this mom decided to invite their kid's bully over, didn't even consult with the kid, I'm assuming. And now this kid's there. Okay. And in this case, I want to know if there's a dad in the house, because the dad would have had something else to say about it. I want to say in a lot of cases, dads would have showed their kids how to handle that in other ways. If you catch my drift, let's see what they say.
I don't know, Mom. I don't know.
Yeah.
I trying to understand what you're trying to do, but I think
it's the reason why I'm suspecting she called this show is it sounds like he didn't agree. I'm guessing she sounds like the type to not ask.
Son just turned 10. There's this one kid at school who has just been making him feel left out. This boy that's been making him feel left out used to be my son's best friend. It's not like it's like bullying, like physical or anything, but apparently invites all the other boys to hang out, but leaves my son out. Talks about plans in front of my...
Have you trained your son how to deal with this? This is the reason why we have instances where people are like, let's homeschool our kids. School is terrible. No, you haven't trained your kid to handle competition. You've trained him to depend on you. It's annoying to me. I wonder if there's a dad in the home. Let's see.
Oh no,
that's actually worse than physical. And alienation socially is exponentially worse than being beaten up.
And Mom,
at that age.
Mom, did you invite the boy, or you sent your boy to invite that boy?
My son even said to me, like, he makes me feel like nobody likes me anymore.
What happened? What's the beef?
I don't really know, but it really hurt me as his mom. So, like, I was actually bullied growing up.
Again, I want you to notice the way that the amount of times that she says me or I. It's more about the parent than it is the child. The parent's feelings are hurt as much as the child's. She's gonna go on about how bad she feels and how bad she feels when she forgets that she forgot to do her job as a parent.
But no one ever stepped in. So I thought, what, maybe I could handle it differently. I honestly think that it's better to teach kids to be the bigger person. You know, you don't solve things by avoiding people or just shutting people out. I decided to invite this boy to the party.
I can understand a lesson. You know, I'm going to be charitable and say I could get that you want him to be the bigger person, but he has to consent to that. You can't force this life lesson on him by making him confront this situation, and especially to do that on his birthday, a day where he should be cherished and protected and loved and seen. To do that, unacceptable. You know, the lesson is not the issue I have. It's how you went about it. He's 10. He's not 3. He's not 1. Okay? He has enough cognitive ability to have a discussion with you and consent.
I wanted to point this out because at the end of this video, I'm gonna explain why this is important. He said he made a point to recognize the fact that the little boy is 10. He's not 2. He's not 1. He's in 4th grade. I can't tell you how many times I deal with parents who are stuck in this world, and I get it because I have kids myself, but they're stuck in this world where their 10-year-old child is a baby. Their 10-year-old child is now spending more time without their parents than they are with their parents. So if the parent is solving all of the problems for the child, when does the child learn how to solve them for themselves? Especially, as I said, they're spending way more time alone than they are with their parents. If you continue to treat your child like a baby, then essentially you're going to get a man baby. That's what you're going to get. And I could promise you in this case, for this parent, she's gonna blame everybody else. It's gonna be everybody else's fault. She's not going to take accountability for the mistakes that she's made as a parent in preparing their kids for competition in reality.
You might say, but you don't. Yes, for some things like that you do. Okay, if your son does not want to wear a dress, you can't force him to wear a dress and think that's acceptable. I'm not saying your kid has a say in everything, but I think he should have a say in whether or not his bully comes to his fucking birthday. And the idea is not even about like the kid has the final say. It's not that. It's that at that age, their input should matter. Am I tripping?
No.
Okay.
No. It's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday. You want to teach him a lesson on his birthday, and that's the lesson you're trying to teach him?
No.
And you're saying like, hey, that's not how you solve problems. Some problems that you have in life will not get solved. Some people won't like you. And guess what? You let it go.
No.
Maybe your son is a f***ing weirdo. It's a possibility that the other boy is like, I don't want to deal with him because he's weird or whatever. And he has the right not to want to. But forcing your kid to be...
I realize that might have seemed a little bit harsh, but let me just tell you, it's very, very true. I am somewhat of a neurodivergent person. I'm very much comfortable being on my own. I just feel that in those instances, if I'm comfortable being on my own, then let me be on my own. I don't need a lot of people around me. Also, I understand that if I'm awkward around people and people are taken back by that awkwardness, then that's on me. Maybe I should not be in that area. You know, it doesn't happen all the time, but I'm just saying that sometimes it does happen. And the last point I want to make is if her son, let's say that what he's saying is true and her son is a little socially awkward, there is a very high chance, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but there's a very high chance that she made him that way. I don't know. I came up in the 90s. We spent a lot of time outside. We hung around people. And this is why I believe in our school system is broken, because we don't spend enough time in the mix. Not our kids don't, and they're not allowed to be there. They're not. They're too busy learning other stuff. I'm wondering if he is a little socially awkward.
Out there and be like, you're going to invite the boy. You're going to invite the boy. It's crazy.
Just think about the prospect of like, let's say he is the weird kid or whatever. That's fine. You're now inviting the person who makes him feel
left out
so little, makes him feel, what did she say earlier? Makes him feel like a nobody. She said that. He makes him feel like he's nobody. You're going to invite that person into the one place that should be safe, which is his home. he's going to find out that his mom is complicit in making his home less safe for him by inviting his bully over. You know, unless they kumbaya it up and kiss and make up, this is a horrible thing to do, in my opinion. My mom did some wild stuff to me when I was a kid. This would have been beyond any of that.
Ain't no way you inviting Ghislaine Saint-Hilien to my fucking birthday party.
That's a very specific person.
That is a very specific person as well.
Not tell my son at first because I knew he'd be upset. Maybe if they were in a fun, kind of a positive environment, it could reset the things between them. My son found out before the party and he was devastated. And
You didn't tell? Oh!
I told you.
I knew it. She doesn't sound like the type of person to tell anybody. She sounds like the type of person to do stuff because in her mind it makes sense, but she forgets that empathy is a real thing. Her kids are living a life without her. So they're going through things without her. So instead of teaching them the right way and having discussions and having them face those fears in the most prepared way possible, she just takes it upon herself to do weird stuff. That kid took that experience to school and aired it out. That kid is going to be ostracized because his mom doesn't want to raise a man.
I told you.
Oh!
And he was devastated. Of course he was.
Oh my.
Imagine looking forward to your birthday. You thinking you're going to be doing cosmic adventures, running through tubes with your homies, having a good time, not thinking about anything else. Hope everyone has fun, eat cake, get presents. And now you're like, am I going to be a nobody today?
You're a bad mom.
Is my mom going to see me be a nobody? Are my other friends who don't know about this bully going to see me be a nobody when this guy shows up? That's what you did.
No.
And you didn't ask him for his...
No, ma'am, that's crazy.
That's a betrayal.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, betrayal, 100%. Carry on.
And see, this is why I tell you, sometimes it's better not to talk about your problems.
Well, not to your mom. To your homies is different. We know moms are crazy.
Yeah, I'm just saying, the wrong person.
That's the crazy thing about men is when a lot of the times as you get older, that's the thing. You know, you tend not to talk about them. It takes a strong man. It's a strong man to keep their problems in for a long time. I mean, or a normal man. I mean, depending on how you see it. But this is why. This is why, ladies. We don't like to talk about the issues that are going on because it's just kind of how it pans out.
Mom.
No, some moms will have your back and take care of you. I'm just saying, you talked about it to the wrong person, and they're gonna do some fucking shit like that.
No, you spoke to the wrong person initially and then talked to the right person after that.
You invite him, he is the reason I didn't even want a party. The bully guy, he didn't do anything crazy, but he also didn't go out of his way to be nice to my son either. After the party was over, my son...
Because he doesn't care about you. He don't care about you, Mom. I promise you the kids, these kids these days don't care about you. They think adults are on the same level as their own friends because they don't have any respect for adults anymore because of parents like you. I'm gonna be real. You don't sound like the type of parent to sit there and have your kid get in trouble at school and then take him to school and have him own up to his issues. You sound like the type of parent that's gonna come in and say, "Well, what did you do?" Well, he sounds like he's hurt. No, he's supposed to be learning. It's not easy. It's difficult. A lot of times it's gonna hurt. He's not gonna get to do the things that he wants to do because he's gonna have to study. And if he does not meet the expectations of the one that's expecting them of him, who are you to come out and say that it was that person's problem or that person's fault for doing exactly what they need to do to prepare your kid, what you should have been doing? I don't know. I think this is pretty consistent with my experiences at different levels of schools.
Told me that I ruined his birthday. My husband, on top of that, is furious with me.
Why is he furious with you? Did you not get...
This is what I wanted to hear. I told you. Every young man needs a male role model because we think differently. Let's see what he says.
Him to sign off on this?
No, he didn't know.
It don't sound like she
He
did.
didn't know. He didn't know.
Hell no.
Dad didn't know. So all the people in the comments, where's Dad? Dad was there. Dad didn't know.
I mean, they might be separated. Let's find out.
bad mom. My son's bully over my own kid. My question is, am I a bad mom?
Yeah, you are. You are. You are. Sorry, Mom. That was a fucked up thing to do. I mean, I'm not going to say bad mom. That's the decision. Crazy.
Shout out to Abba and Preach, man. These dudes really have an idea of what the real world entails, and they do, although they do use certain language, they have very level-headed perspectives. Now, when it comes to education and school environments, okay, this video is direct proof of the types of behaviors parents exhibit in schools. I understand that different school districts are different and different states are different. Some are just better than others. I came up in a completely different state and we were solid. And the messed up part is we didn't even have as much money as the state that I currently live. And we were solid. Way less behavior issues, the staff was trained, the staff was available, and the resources were available. We were solid. But I digress. This is what we see as educators. And this is what we see as leaders. We have students that come in and they think that they have a right to behave however they want to behave. And as soon as that happens and as soon as they get in trouble, a parent swoops in and looks for a scapegoat. 9 times out of 10, it's whatever adult was around at that time. And if there was no adults around, because I hate to tell you, students spend time by themselves. They're not always supervised in school. It's not how it works, especially in middle school. So then if there's an adult not around, it goes directly to the teacher. Let me just stop right there. I just want to tell you a quick story because this happened to me once too. One time there was an issue where I was in the leadership and there was a student who got hurt while playing on the playground. This parent was such a handful and he hated me. He hated me with a passion. And I was cool with that. I think he hated me because he knew I was cool with it. But he tried to get his child back into school prior to his child saying that he was hurt. They did not want to take him to the hospital and tried to get him right back in school because this also was the type of parent that would be like, don't ever call me and this, that, and the third. And I don't just leave him there. And he really didn't care. So when we didn't want to let him back in school without a proper doctor's note, he got mad. So this is the type of stuff that we deal with. He called somebody down to have a meeting. And then I ended up having to go down anyway because I was in leadership. And he goes, well, where were you at? And I said, I'm sorry. I was called to the situation after it happened. But you said his teacher was standing right there. And my response was, sir, do you even know who your son's teacher is? And then he just looked at me and got real upset. And I was fine with it. Get mad as you want. You the dummy that don't even know who your child's teacher is. But I just want to interrupt real quick and tell that story because I always thought that was one of the funniest things. Sometimes parents just want to be mad to be mad. And it's just the way it works. Parents, you got to toughen up. You're not raising kids to be young men and young women. You're raising them to be dependent. You're not raising them to respect the development of their own mind. You're raising them to blame somebody else when they fail instead of pulling their pants up and being successful. I'm not really sure the exact term. I'm going to have to look it up, but I know it's like a co-mirroring type of thing. So a kid's going to react to a situation in the manner in which the parent reacts to the situation, especially during the high development periods. But I've seen this type of thing too much. I had a kid whose mom fought with me for 30 minutes about how her child is not at fault for something they have admitted to doing, and then continue to argue with me via text message. I had a mom, and if you haven't went back and watched the video, My Teacher Tale Hackers, I had a mom whose child got in trouble and was crying because he got in trouble. And the mom forced him to go to the nurse. She said he has anxiety, or he's got asthma. He could be having an asthma attack. Let me talk to him. You need to go to the nurse. And he said 3 times, Mom, I'm fine. No, you need to go to the nurse. Mom, I'm fine. I see this all the time. You have to start parenting your kids in a way that they can be resilient. Education is important no matter how you slice it. And it's going to get difficult. And it's coming to a point where we are no longer going to have No Child Left Behind. It's going to come to a point where we get grades back. And it's going to come to a point where accountability is a real thing. They're taking parents to court for specific behaviors in school. You guys are going to have to be held accountable sooner or later. You might as well practice now. It's just too much. It's too much to sit at a school and watch this happen over and over and over and over and over again and not say anything. Parents, this is on you. You are teaching kids to be competitive in a social situation. So if your child is getting bullied and they don't know how to handle it, then it's your job to teach them how to deal with bullies. What are we doing?
Walk in, chest great, we don't play. Staff talk.